you will be rewarded, because that's literally what it takes. And then what happens is people say, oh man, how'd you make so much? How'd you quote unquote make it? It wasn't overnight. Yes, somebody can get lucky and just happen to buy a bag or two now at this point at the lows. But we have literally been waiting, right? Waiting and waiting and waiting for these breakouts, waiting and waiting and waiting for these consolidations to end. And it finally looks like they have. So congratulations to those of you who are still here. Hello everyone, my name is Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for almost daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is August 21st, 2024, and the cryptocurrency markets are on the brink of a massive breakout, right? This is on the heels of an epic full moon event that happened on Monday, August 19th, just 2 days ago. And if you're not familiar with how lunar cycles play with financial markets, right, there's very strong evidence in 50 plus years of research to indicate that markets typically bottom or form a local market bottom, as we call it, 0 to 3 days after a full moon event. Okay, so 0 to 3 days, that would be Monday to Thursday is the window in which we can expect a local market bottom. It is currently Wednesday, and it looks as if we have our local market bottom. All right, there is further context in this bounce, so if all that sounds interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get into it. All right, let's start off with Bitcoin as per usual. All right, on the 4-hourly chart, Bitcoin against Tether US, it's very, very clear that Bitcoin has been in what we call a bull flag. This is, textbook pattern analysis, right? In terms of technical analysis, you look at this as your flagpole, and then you look at this as your bull flag, okay? And a bull flag sometimes looks like a pennant, sometimes it looks like a sort of rectangular flag, but this looks like a pennant to me. And as you can see, our stochastic RSI momentum indicator is bottomed out and crossed bullish. So I believe that this pennant is going to play out, okay? And so the target of this is typically, so this is very rough pattern analysis. Your target is typically the length of the flagpole superimposed from the site of breakout. So something like this, okay? You can get a little more accurate. Let's just put in a line here, and then again superimposing it. Oh, I didn't know I could do that with that. From the site of breakout, which would give an all-time high of 76K pretty much, which is, I mean, it looks about right, yeah? Because you're also, if you're looking at Bitcoin, working in a larger bull flag right here, which is this flag right here is another variation of the flag that you can see, which is a descending broadening wedge, okay? So like a megaphone pattern, and that can break out to the upside. So if we do indeed hit our target here, that would look like a, I mean, I don't love this target, and I have a higher target and a different target, and I've talked about this target. I'm going to give that in just a second. But essentially, I do expect for us to hit the top of this resistance, because it's been resistance for so long. You can see since March of this year, we've been in this larger descending broadening wedge or megaphone pattern, right? And the top of it has been resistance, right, since March. So that's about 160 days, or about how many months is that? 5 to 6 months, right? 5 months, something like that. So I do believe that it's very likely that we hit the top of this target. But I think if you're to play this and look and say, okay, if Bitcoin is to move, where do I want to take profit? I'm not taking profit up here, actually. I'm not taking profit up here because this has been resistance for so long, and we're in what looks to be a very bullish pattern, right? I think that the resistance is broken, then retest it. So that's why I've spoken before on previous videos about a target of 88,000. Okay. Now, very quickly, and I'm not going to rehash that analysis completely. There's a video of that, Bitcoin to 88K, on the channel. Just look it up. But 88K is very simple. It's because this is not an impulse. This is not a pure impulse. This, to me, is a series of up and to the right consolidations, okay? And if this were a pure impulse, what you would have seen is a wave 1 and then a wave 2 that took about the same amount of time as wave 1 took to form. Here we don't have that, okay? We have basically what you can see as a wave 1. Maybe you can say this is wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, but it doesn't. Wave 4 typically comes to between the 0.38 0 here, sorry. So wave 4 typically hits between 236 and 382. Okay, 0236 to 0382. You can see we came all the way down to the 0618. If this were to be a purely impulsive move and this was wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, you know, it doesn't work. This is a series of up and to the right consolidations. It looks like a type of impulse, but it's not. And in other assets, less bullish assets, this would have been a horizontal type consolidation accumulation. So that's what I'm seeing, and which is why in calculating my target, I'm starting as I'm thinking that the pure impulse starts here at this point. If that's the case, I take my Fibonacci retracement tool from the beginning of the purported move all the way to my purported target, and I really like this because the retest is going to be spot on the top of this 160-day descending broadening wedge, which must be retested as support because it's been resistant for 160 days. That 160-day resistance that you can see here at the dotted line must be retested as support. That's what I see Bitcoin doing in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I say 2 to 3 weeks because as full moons indicate local market bottoms, new moons typically, not always, but typically indicate local market tops. And the next new moon is in approximately 2 weeks from now. So at some point in early December, before mid-December, I anticipate for us to hit that 88K target. And then 2 weeks from there, I anticipate for us to come back to 68.8, which would be retesting that 160-day resistance as support. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. That's why I see Bitcoin going to 88K and no higher than 88K in the next coming weeks. But a new all-time high should be made with a high degree of probability in Bitcoin. And remember, every single time you hit an all-time high, it is a good advice to take profit, only because all-time high, people think, oh, it's not going any higher. People think it's never been higher, and I've never been. By definition, everybody's in profit. Nobody's at a loss if you've bought prior to that point. Do you see what I mean? So people are going to look to take profits. That's the psychology behind why, hitting an all-time high typically indicates profit taking, heavy profit taking, and that heavy profit taking should have us coming down about 62% of the move. Okay, so recap, I see Bitcoin going from where we're at now, about 60K to 88K, which is a approximately a 46% move, and I can see that happening in a matter of a week and a half, 2 weeks ish. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. But it's not even the most interesting thing that's happening in the cryptocurrency market right now, because if you look at your watch lists, if you have any notion of what's going on in the altcoin space, you have charts that are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at these charts. I'm going to go on the daily time frame and I'm going to show you. Let's go on the higher time frame charts. Remember, guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Consider buying me a coffee at the pinned comment below. So Arweave, for instance, okay, this is a VC coin. This is one of the first movers, right, in the bear market, or from the bear market lows. You can see it started moving in October of 23, came up and retested from that first move, okay? I'm seeing that as a wave 1, wave 2 situation, a shallow wave 2, but it's still a wave 2 situation. And now you can see kind of what you see in Bitcoin. You can see a sideways consolidate up and to the right consolidation, pardon, where you hit your lows, you bounced up, you chopped, and now you break up from that chop. And again, kind of like what you see in Bitcoin, this is a clear flag, bull flag pattern, right? Where you have your flag pull here and you have your ensuing flag and a breakout of that flag, right? So I'm seeing this throughout the market. You see balancer, flag pull, flag, breakout. Okay, and these are going to be big breakouts because remember, look at this, blur. It's a up and to the right chop. It's a running flag. Like, this is the most bullish variant of the bull flag, where the flag isn't like this, right? It's actually up and to the right. The flag itself is up and to the right. Do you see that? It can't, there's no way, there's so much buying pressure here that the flag support is itself up and to the right. So this is what I'm seeing throughout the market, right? Breakouts of these lows. And remember the context. Look at DYDX, up and to the right, bullish flag pull. You have Ethereum as well, bull flagging, hook, bull flagging. I mean, everything is pretty much breaking out from its lows. And look at Ren. Ren has been on, I wouldn't say a tear. This is not a tear. It's just because we've been in such doldrums in the bear market, going down and sideways, that, you know, these little moves here are exciting, but this is nothing for these altcoins. And just some context to this generally, I want to go now on the weekly time frame. Look at Cardano. I mean, it's breaking out now. Look at this on the weekly time frame, just so you can understand where we're coming from. Down, sideways, retest of that bearish consolidation, right? You're pretty much have been, in the case of Cardano and most altcoins, down and sideways for about 1,000 days. Okay, that is a context. You have not put any, not even a little bit, of sustained upwards momentum in these charts. So this is, I mean, like, you always talk about a good idea to buy. It's been a good idea to buy these altcoins for pretty much the past year plus, okay, year and a half. It's been great buying opportunities because we've been at the lows for that long, for about a year and a half, 581 days, as you can see. So that's the context. That's the importance of this breakout. And, you know, it only takes one move, and that one move then excites the entire market. Once you get impulsive once, you build on that impulse. Wave 1 leads into wave 2, which leads into wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and then a correction on those 5 waves, and then you continue. And that's the bull market. It continues upon itself. That's what's exciting about it. Now, to finish out the video, I want to show you how this really isn't just some small time frame, random analysis. This is rooted in years of what the market's been doing, right? As you can see, I'm looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart, which is Bitcoin's activity vis-a-vis the rest of the cryptocurrency market. So if Bitcoin is gaining against the rest of the cryptocurrency market, i.e. altcoins, then this chart is going up. It's an indicator. Bitcoin dominance goes up. It's been going up pretty much uninterruptedly, as you can see on this chart, since the end of 2022. Okay, so that's pretty much 2 straight years of Bitcoin gaining against altcoins, like altcoins getting decimated for 2+ years, and that has been the case. I mean, that's not even counting what happened here, but just like very clean, inarguable decimation of altcoins for the past 2 years since the end of 2022. And as you can see, this trend, right, which is, altcoins losing against Bitcoin, has come up against an important resistance. That resistance is so important that it's almost 10 years old. Okay, it's about 7 to 8 years old, and you can see right here, this is resistance. Okay, and so zooming in on the smaller time frames to that resistance in particular, you can see you can't seem to get through this 7-year resistance, and that's a great sign for the incoming bull market for altcoin activity, right? Because if this breaks down, just like I said in the beginning, it means altcoins start gaining against Bitcoin. The only time altcoins gain against Bitcoin is in a proper bull market, when crypto is actually moving and everything that's smaller cap, right, that has a smaller market cap than Bitcoin starts gaining against Bitcoin. And this is what we see coming here, with this 7-year resistance serving as a block on this Bitcoin dominance chart, and this being pretty much the top. And you can see here on the 4-hourly time frame, we have nice doji candles, indicating exhaustion of trend. And that breakdown right here, and you can see that also in our stochastic momentum indicator. So I'm very excited by what I'm seeing in the charts. I hope you're well positioned to take advantage of this movement. I know it's been a very long time, and this is really, if you've been following my work, if you've been in the market, if you've not been following my work, but you've been following the market for the past few years, you know just how trying this is. It's been a game of attrition. It's been a marathon, not a sprint. For those who have been buying patiently or paying attention, even if you haven't been buying, investing time, energy, mental capital into paying attention in this market, you will be rewarded, because that's literally what it takes. And then what happens is people say, oh man, how'd you make so much? How'd you quote unquote make it? It wasn't overnight. Yes, somebody can get lucky and just happen to buy a bag or two now at this point at the lows. But we have literally been waiting, right? Waiting for these breakouts, waiting for these consolidations to end. And it finally looks like they have. So congratulations to those of you who are still here and paying attention and exposed to this market. Guys, that's all I have. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe. Remember, consider buying a copy at the pinned comment below if you got value, and I'll see you next time.